to get it to spin over.
Hi,
here.
everybody. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's
Hi.
Wednesday. It's hump day.
Hump day.
Okay, everybody. If you haven't, you need to get boned all up in here. Go to bonefrogcoffee.com/chicks. Use code chicks. Get 10% off your first order. You should do that. You can also get 15% off subscriptions, which you should totally do because once you try Bone Frog, you're going to be hooked. That good.
All other coffee will be dead to you.
It is. It's completely dead to you. Also, you should subscribe to this podcast, but it's in your pocket. Yesterday, we spoke to Mike Davis. He knows some stuff about some things. He really does. He schooled us on all things Trump trials, especially the one that's going on right now with Stormy Daniels. And they're probably going to have like a verdict coming down the pike this week. And I mean, I've been like pretty wishful thinking about stuff, and he depressed me yesterday. So
yeah,
you should check that out. It's out.
Yes, it's out.
It's everywhere. So it's out there. You should check that out because he is so informative, you guys. I mean, just chock full of info, legal stuff that he breaks down, and you guys should totally check that out. Okay.
Well, and if you're a person who for some reason still doesn't understand how diabolical this effort by Biden is to take down Trump in this way, man, does he ever shed some light on that?
I mean, if you're like this hopeful, if you have a shred of positivity in you, he will like slam that out of your system. There's that. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I think diabolical is a great word because these people are insane.
Yeah. Insane. I mean, it's bad. And the level to which the entire system of justice has been corrupted is terrifying, especially considering that Biden is always like, we need to save democracy. It's so absurd.
Right. Because they're destroying
given
it.
How much he is destroying it, like in this trial. So if you are a person too, who feels optimism about the outcome of this trial, I think everybody needs to prepare themselves for what is likely to happen, which is a conviction.
Yeah.
And so just brace yourselves.
You in danger, girl. You in danger.
And so actually I, just in light of that, because we have to talk about the spectacle that was outside of the courthouse yesterday. But here is what, according to the Daily Mail, there are a couple of different outcomes that could happen with this jury. So they're deliberating right now. And they have to come. Here's what's going on. So they have to come to a unanimous verdict, meaning all 12 of them have to agree, right? So a lot of Trump supporting folks and optimists have been holding out hope that there would just be one juror who would have some sense and recognize how brutally unfair and pointless this entire thing is. And so that would be great, but this is a terrible area. This is a terrible jurisdiction for Trump, right? So it's very unlikely that there's going to be a naysayer, especially because think of the peer pressure. If you've got like a whole bunch of people going, Trump is guilty, and you owe it to America to find him guilty, and you're this person that's like not sure, you're probably going to go along with what you're being pressured to do.
People keep asking who it was. Mike Davis, you guys. That's who we talked to. Mike Davis is the guy.
Mike Davis. Yes. Okay. So if they are split, if they do not have all 12 people on board, it would result in a hung jury and a mistrial. So what could happen is that there are 34 counts of charges here and all of them are that Trump he falsified business records. All 34 charges are about falsifying business records. The jury could potentially find him guilty unanimously on one or more of those charges. They could find that he's not guilty on one or more of those charges. But if they're not unified on any of them, it results in a hung jury. And then if the jury comes back to the judge and says, we aren't unanimous, he could declare a mistrial, or, and I didn't know this part, he could say, you have to come to agreement. You got to go back and deliberate until you do, at least on some of the counts. And so if he's convicted, as Mike Davis told us yesterday, immediately they will file for appeal immediately. And the thought is amongst the scholars that he'll win on appeal, that this will be overturned. The problem is that could take years.
Yeah, it's gonna take forever.
Right. And so the election will happen before an appeals process could ever even get heard. But the good news is that even if he is convicted, at least according to this article, they're saying it is unlikely that he would be sentenced before the election. So even if he's convicted, he's just going to keep hanging out, doing what he's doing. People can still vote for him. And then they got to sort out, well, what happens if he is... I mean, what do they do? Are they going to send him to jail?
This judge wants that. Because that's another thing that we talked to him about too yesterday. Because this judge, his daughter is like Miss Biden pants. I mean, she's Miss Biden pants. That's my name.
Literally fundraising for him.
She really is. And so he is indebted to them, basically. Like, that's what he wants to do. He wants to make sure that his daughter is in good standing with the Democrat Party. And like, they're all in bed together. It's what they do, you guys. This is who they are. It's so gross.
It is.
This whole trial is so gross and politically motivated and disgusting. And they have the audacity to look at Republicans and go, you guys are ruining democracy. Oh my God. It's like the biggest projection. They like tell us what you guys are ruining democracy while they're actually doing it. They're actually doing it right now. It's disgusting. They're all in bed together.
It is vile. But that doesn't stop the fact that Father's Day is coming. Father's Day is coming. And if you are not prepared, we have the answer for you, you guys. There is a special deluxe Father's Day gift package going on right now at omahasteaks.com/chicks. It is less than $90 and they throw in 4 free burgers. This is on top of top sirloins, on top of boneless pork chops, on top of steak burgers, on top of the jumbo franks, on top of their yummy jar of special Omaha steak seasoning. This on top of all of that, they get you the 4 free burgers. That's when you use code CHICKS at omahasteaks.com/chicks. The deluxe Father's Day package is awesome and very well put together. You can obviously also put together whatever package you like. The choices are endless. And perhaps in your package, you want to throw in some sides. You can do that. You can completely customize. You can see it all at omahasteaks.com/chicks. Take advantage of the Father's Day specials and get your dad something you know he is going to use. omahasteaks.com/chicks.
Yeah, they better not put him in jail. I agree, Tammy. Tammy's like, if they put Trump in jail, civil war will erupt. I agree. They better not put him in jail. I mean, I feel like...
Oh, there's going to be some stuff going down if that happens.
If they do that, there's going to be some crap that goes... Because, I mean, it'll just... And we talked about that too. It just emboldens him even more. It just makes him... Every time they keep poking him. It's like poking a bear.
Mm-hmm.
And like, we are the bear. You know what I mean?
Collectively, we are a giant bear.
Yeah.
It's true. Lori Mazamuro. Oh, shoot. I just lost your thing on Venmo. Thank you so much. Lori said, hey, y'all, good morning. Have you heard about the Brats documentary by Andrew McCarthy about the Brat Pack? I think it'll be interesting and Gen Xers unite. Mm-hmm. I can't see it because it's on Hulu and we don't have Hulu.
Yeah, I put that on my Facebook page and I totally want to watch it. I don't even think we have Hulu and I'm going to find a way to watch it. Like I will get Hulu just to watch it. I'm so excited about that.
Here's like a free trial.
The thing that sucks is that in the promo for it, they didn't have Mayor Winningham in there.
Oh,
it was like everybody from St. Elmo's Fire and Mayor Winningham was missing. I'm like, I wonder how she feels about that.
Well, does she even what is she even doing? Is she alive? We need to do a welfare check.
I think Mayor Winningham is alive, but I mean, I feel like she was left out of that. She was part of the Brat Pack, is the Brat Pack.
I mean, she was in that movie.
She was in St. Elmo's Fire. She was in a couple things, wasn't she, back in the day?
Oh, she was in so many things. She was in a ton of stuff. Yeah. But I don't think she's, I mean, it does say that as recently, not that it's recent, but as recently as 2014, she was nominated for a Tony, for a play that she did.
Oh my God.
Valentina.
She's still acting. Unlike.
Oh my God. She was nominated for a Tony in 2022.
What?
So she's still acting. Yeah. That was for her leading performance in Girl from the North Country.
Unlike Jake from 16 Candles, who is now making furniture in like Connecticut or something.
And he's
Remember?
so fluffy. I know. He changed a
God,
lot.
he was so dreamy. You guys, you remember, ladies? Remember how dreamy he was? Jake.
Oh my gosh. He was like every Gen Xer teenager, now
Right?
Gen Xer, but he was like fantasy material for every one
Pulling
of us.
up in a red Porsche. Remember?
I do not forget that.
His rolled up jeans, his vest. So hot.
It was good stuff.
We got to
man.
move on.
All right, moving on.
So hot.
All right, so let's get to what happened yesterday. It was a spectacle that was the dumbest move by Biden's team ever. This was the Biden-Harris campaign team that orchestrated this ridiculous event on which they put the wrong date, you guys. It was May 28th yesterday, not Tuesday, May 27th. So they put out this thing with the wrong date on it saying today in Manhattan, Biden-Harris campaign to hold press conference with special guests. This is how they promoted it. And then somebody, Greg Price, commented on it saying, this is completely hilarious. So they decided it would be a great idea to show that Biden isn't involved in prosecuting his political opponent by having a presser outside the NYC courtroom where they also got the date wrong on their media advisory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And their special guests included lunatic actor Robert De Niro wearing a mask outside on an 80-degree day 4 years after COVID. One unhinged Capitol police officer, what's his name? What's it? Fanone. Michael Fanone.
He just is a liar. He basically is a liar.
Total liar. And then another one best known for hitting on 20-year-old girls at DC bars. They spent the whole thing getting drowned out by Trump supporters yelling FJB. And they had to answer questions like, is Trump a threat to all of these wars Biden has gotten us into?
Oh my God. The whole thing was a dumpster fire.
Oh my God. The worst dumpster fire. And in fact, Ben Shapiro was like, what genius thought this up? Hey guys, our 81-year-old rambling half senile president is unpopular. Let's get an 80-year-old rambling half senile actor out there to attack the other guy.
Totally. Oh my God. It just was so bad. He's completely unhinged.
Oh my God.
Just full of TDS. It's decayed his brain. He cannot think. I mean, this guy. So, okay, you can memorize lines. Yay. Good for you. So let's
I don't know.
He probably can't even do that anymore. So let's just get this guy who pretends to be other people out there because he'll be a great representation of the Democrat Party. Okay.
Well, and then for him to talk about how unhinged Trump is while he is having an unhinged meltdown is just priceless. And it was a comedy of errors, like from the moment that he started walking towards this presser. As you can see, he's not well received. Let's just put it that way. People are yelling.
Oh, nice mask. I mean, the mask, guys. Why?
And he's got like 19 bodyguards.
What in the world? What an idiot.
I know. Just so ridiculous.
And then he takes the mask off when he gets to the what?
Right.
Where's the logic? These
especially because these people are just as close to him as they were a minute ago, right?
These people are mental. Oh my God.
So let's just listen to a bit of his address to the press.
And elections, forget about it. That's over. That's done. If he gets in, I can tell you right now, he will never leave.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
He will never leave. You know that. He will never leave. What does that mean? Is that the country we want to live in? Do we want him running this country and saying, I'm not leaving, I'm dictator for life?
He gets so mad.
I hope this new ad campaign reaches outside the bubble to remind supporters of what a danger he is to our lives. This is not a threat. This is a reality. And that's why I've joined the Biden-Harris campaign, because the only way to preserve our freedoms and hold on to our humanity is to vote for Joe Biden for president. Really. We don't have a choice. I mean, this is really, even these people over here are kind of, it's kind of crazy.
Is it? Like you?
It's really crazy. And this thing, Donald Trump has created this. He should be telling them not to do this. But he's just...
So he should be telling them not to do this. Dude, he's in court. I don't know if you noticed. He's in there because of Biden doing all these shenanigans. So I'm sorry that these protesters are bothering you, Bobby.
Exactly. There are 4 cases that are against him because of the fact that this president can't just run on his own record. I don't know if you know that. So they have to tie him up in court because his policy sucks so hard. They're having to do this. I mean, come on. Democracy, Robbie. Democracy. What is he, like 5 foot tall?
And he's a brand new father. Remember? He's like just had a baby with somebody.
God, that is so gross. So gross.
Well, it got ugly between him and the Trump supporters who were just not going to take any of his garbage. And so they shouted him down. And then there was like an exchange of FUs. And this is a little bit of that.
You are gangsters. You are gangsters. Fuck you. You're a softie. You're a nobody. Your movies suck. You're trash.
To be fair, his movies actually aren't that terrible.
Oh my God, they're amazing.
His movies are pretty. I mean, like I really love Goodfellas, but he didn't make the movies. They're not his movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like Martin Scorsese's movies and people like that. Other people made the movies. He just read lines. You know, let's get real.
I mean, he's a very good actor from his day.
He's a good line reader. You know, right from his day. But he is batshit crazy. This guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
He is crazy. There, one of the people from the campaign, I don't know this dude's name because like who cares what any of the names are of the people in the Biden Harris campaign. But so, you know, they called this press conference. So the press had questions and so did, you know, people were gathered around to ask questions, but he didn't like the questions. And here's why.
Is President Trump a threat to all these wars Biden has gotten us into?
Any media questions?
Is this a weaponization of the Justice Department, sir?
Any media questions?
You want to answer the real questions, only the fake news?
Oh my God.
He did not like that at all.
Is Trump a threat to all the wars Biden has gotten us into? Yeah.
And is this a weaponization of the Justice Department?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, answer that.
Trump may be a threat to like the 11 million illegals that have crossed the border too. He may be a threat to that. Gosh.
Dan McLaughlin with this tweet, which was it was a pretty interesting question. Explain to me how, under Shepard versus Maxwell, a criminal defendant's right to a fair trial isn't violated when the president of the United States sponsors a press conference outside the courthouse the day before the jury begins deliberations to demand a conviction. Like, how effed up is this? And how do people not see how effed up it is?
Oh, we see. We see.
we do.
See. Yeah, we see. You know what's going to happen though? KJP is going to be like, let me be clear. We're being very clear. The president has been very clear.
Well, she's going to be mindful. She's going to be very mindful about not talking about the election because of the Hatch Act. She's very mindful of it.
Right. Mindful and clear.
Mindful and clear. That's exactly right. Yeah. Jesse Waters and company had some analysis of this spectacle. Here they are.
We had some Let's Go Brandon chants in there.
Right.
You had a car alarm. You had some questions, which I don't think the Biden spokesperson was ready for. It doesn't look like they'd planned this very well to send Robert De Niro, I don't know how old he is, but he's a hot mess. He has Trump derangement syndrome, into the belly of the beast. Why do you think the Biden campaign thought that was a good idea after spending the whole year distancing themselves politically from the trial?
Because they were desperate, because Biden had a bad news cycle in the last few days. It's a bad headline from Politico saying that Democrats are in full freakout mode. So what I was thinking, if I'm a comms person on that campaign team, what you want to do is figure out what is the shiny object we can dangle over here that everyone will go running to. towards. And I mean, think about it. You and I are talking about this right now.
They dangled De Niro.
But here's the thing. I think it ended up backfiring because he's calling people crazy as he's coming off as unhinged. And then they all flock to the back of his press conference because now they're very angry that he called them crazy at the very beginning. And they're screaming the entire time, which completely defeated the purpose of what he was doing.
So, yeah.
It'll be fun to watch the spin on the left today, because they're going to do that. Like the Mikas and the Joes and all them, they're going to spin it to make it look like the people in the crowd were crazy and Robert De Niro is completely sane. Like he's
God, good luck.
They will though. They will.
Yeah, it's
they're
true.
going to absolutely they will do that because they're just as crazy as he is.
Yeah, I mean, anybody that looks at Robert De Niro and thinks, yeah, that guy seems stable and rational and reasonable.
Totally sane, that guy.
Oh my
Absolutely
God.
sane. Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay.
Where is my I have to find my there it is. Hang on. I wanted to make sure I had my Field of Greens out for everybody. You guys, Field of Greens is what you can use to cheat the system when it comes to getting all your fruits and veggies. And so if you don't get enough fruits and veggies in your daily diet, and I am one of those people, here is the way that you can make up for it. And this is, listen, you might take a multivitamin and that's great. You should be doing that, especially if it's from Healthy Cell, but you should also be supplementing your diet with things that are healthy. And Field of Greens is like jam-packed full of health. It is 100% USDA organic fruits and vegetables, real organic superfood. It is not a supplement, and it works really fast because it's packed with antioxidants, fiber, prebiotics. It's formulated by an entire team of doctors, and that is why so many people who start drinking Field of Greens in their, and this is just a green powder that you mix with water. When you drink it as a beverage, it's delicious, first of all, but a lot of people are seeing results in their blood work when they get labs drawn at their doctor's offices because they're making Field of Greens a regular daily part of their diet. And you can get 15% off of your first order at fogchicks.com. That's FOG chicks.com. Use code CHICKS to get that 15% off plus free rush shipping. And we were skeptical of green health powders because that sounds awful when you just hear green health powder. No, but when you try it and it tastes like a berry fruit drink and it seems like a treat more than something that's good for your health, slam dunk. fogchicks.com. Karl Rove also saying this was a huge misstep. This entire spectacle, bad move by the Biden team.
Stupid mistake by the Biden campaign. They wanted to get, while all the cameras were there, they wanted to get their moment in the sun. And it was a big mistake. It politicizes the trial. Better to have waited. And then what was said, with all due respect to Mr. De Niro, who's a wonderful actor. I mean, really, the people up for grabs in this election, are they going to be Donald Trump wants to destroy New York, destroy America, and destroy the world. And if you reelect him, he's never going to leave office. He's going to make himself a tyrant for life. Are those the kind of credible statements that are going to cause people who don't like Biden and don't like Trump but are trying to figure out who to vote for? Are they going to cause people to say, well, geez, you now told me you wanted to destroy our country? Of course you did. The people who believe that are already in the Biden camp. That's not who they should be trying to reach out to. He came close in a moment of talking about January 6th and talking about the two officers, but that might have had an impact. But this was so over the top as to simply be useless. And what a stupid mistake on the part of the Biden campaign. Wow. More reason why Democratic leaders are probably going to be concerned that he's the likely nominee of their party.
Andy, what? I mean, he's not wrong. If this was a tactic for some sort of PR tactic, why him? Why would they use this guy? And somebody just pointed out his son died from a fentanyl overdose.
Yes, that was Kim Donaldson. Thank you very much for the super sticker. Yeah, she said that he died from a fentanyl overdose.
You think that would actually sway him? Like it would change his mind a little bit and make him go, you know what? There are drugs, like all these drugs pouring over our border. Why do you think that is?
But he does not think linearly. Like he doesn't think in a logical way, clearly, because TDS is a problem for him.
It's astounding to me. It's like people on the left who have suffered from a criminal perspective. They have been the objects of crime. They've been the subjects of crime. Like they've they've actually been mugged or they've been robbed or they've been raped by illegals. And they still are like, yeah, I'm going to vote Democrat. What? How do you
makes no sense?
How do you not like do the equation in your head and go, okay, these are crappy policies. I probably should vote maybe the other way. I don't understand people like that. I really don't. And he's one of those people. I mean, he has a son who died from a fentanyl overdose. Like, how do you not maybe readjust your thinking a little bit? I don't get it.
It makes zero sense.
Yeah.
Leah, thank you. Leah says, so because Bobby De Niro says so, Trump should tell his supporters that they can't exercise their free speech rights. And who is the fascist dictator? Exactly. I mean, it's projection, as you said, all the time. It's constant projection. Now, even though we've been sort of pessimistic, and so too was Mike Davis, who we spoke with yesterday about the potential outcome of this trial, there's still people, legal experts, even on CNN, no less, that are saying the prosecution did not prove their case. Here is an example.
What Michael's getting at is the burden of proof is an important one to remind everyone. It's on the prosecution, right? They need to prove beyond reasonable doubt that Donald Trump broke the law. And you think, after listening to all of this, you think they fell short. How?
They fell way short, because let's start with reasonable doubt. What is reasonable doubt? And it's not simply a doubt based upon reason. Anytime a human being needs to make an important decision in life, if you have enough information, for example, doctor says you need open heart surgery. Doc, go ahead and schedule. I don't have a reasonable doubt. Conversely, if I say, I appreciate it, but I need a second opinion, I need more information, that is having a reasonable doubt. There is reasonable doubt all over this case. Where is Keith Schiller? Where is Alan Weisselberg? How did Michael Cohen get away with stealing $30,000? Hold a pity party for him. Made $4 million on this. Thought he'd be chief of staff. He's a fixer. If the plumber comes to my house to fix my leak, I could be home. That doesn't mean I know how he's doing it and what it's taking to be fixed. Stormy Daniels, let's hold a pity party for her. Why do we need to know whether or not the former president wore a condom or not? It's simply about, did the former president know that books, his records, false entries for legal fees? Michael Cohen was his lawyer. Did he intend to cover up the election or to protect his family? It's everywhere.
When Randy gets to whisper tones, I start getting concerned.
Bada bing.
And that's CNN even. So I don't know.
But it's all up to the people, though. You know, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And I was very wishful about this, and I'm thinking, yeah, I mean, there's this. They don't have a case here. Like, this case is so bogus. Everything is so stupid. There's no way. But then, you know, when we talked to our dude yesterday, when we talked to Mike Davis, he was just like, there's no way that this is he feels that this is going to be guilty.
Conviction. Yeah.
Right. It's going to be a conviction because of the people, because you got jurors, you have actual human beings that are in there, and they're all filled with TDS. They didn't put a bunch of conservative jurors on there. You guys.
No, they didn't.
I mean, it's New York, for crying out loud. They actually went into the background of all these people, and they were like, who'd you vote for? Like, who have you supported in the past? It's all Biden people. And so, you know, and then it's like, even if they started thinking, wow, this Michael Cohen is a schmuck, he's a liar. They went away for the long weekend, and then like all their family members were like, you realize you got to like convict this guy, right? And then they're back and they're in their TDS mode. This is what's going to happen. It's totally unfair.
It is so unfair.
This is unfair.
And Dershowitz was even talking about how unfair it is that it was all behind closed doors, because he thinks that everything that we hear is skewed by the media. Here's Alan.
It is a scandal that we can't see this trial with our own eyes. It is a scandal that we have to hear the biased reporting of CNN, who tells us what they want us to believe happened in the courtroom, or the biased reporting of other networks or newspapers. We, the American public, have the right to determine with our own eyes, is Cohen telling the truth? Is the judge being fair? Is the prosecutor being fair? Is the defense adequate? You can't tell that from secondary sources. You can only tell that if you're in the courtroom and there are only, I don't know, dozens of people in the courtroom, or if you see it on television. And the fact that this is not being seen on television is just wrong. It's in violation, in my view, of the Constitution. Why? The Constitution provides for a public trial.
And then we have this, that Secret Service had to meet with local jail officials in New York to talk prep for if President Trump is sentenced to prison. Like, they're figuring out logistically, how are we going to do this? That's how crazy everything is right now.
Yeah, it's wow.
It's nuts. It's just it's bonkers.
Yeah, it is bonkers. And I think it was David who asked, what's the crime, basically. I'm paraphrasing what you asked. And we talked about that again yesterday. And it's like, there isn't a crime. You've got these people that are going to convict him probably just because they have so much hate. It's that whole show me the man and I'll give you the crime, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who said that. I can't remember the person who said that, but that's what they're doing. That's when we are literally a third world country. We're in chaos at that point. Like, we are spiraling the drain. We're in chaos. And people on the left should be concerned about that. It's not just us, because we're so devolving. Like, that's not what our founders wanted for us. And the fact that they're screaming, oh my God, you're ruining democracy. That is when all of us should be, like, liberals should be concerned about that. I know they hate him so much, but at any point that can turn on you. And that corrupt justice system could do exactly that to you just as much as they could do it to Trump. So you should be concerned about that just as much as we're concerned about it. They're not seeing it because they're so full of hate.
I was 10 times more concerned about that after our interview with Mike Davis, that, again, you should check out. It's on YouTube right now. Way more concerned about it after that talk, because he really broke down how corrupt at every single point, at every juncture of this trial, how they've skirted the law, how they've broken the law, how they've gone against the Constitution, like with this gag order, for example.
Right.
The fact that they have gotten away with so much and that there have been no consequences yet. Now, he was optimistic about there being consequences as long as Trump wins. But if Biden wins again, and you don't think that you as a Trump supporter have something to fear from the justice system, you're crazy. Yeah. We all do, because that is how weaponized it's become. It's terrifying.
And
really.
And when you listen to the interview that we had with him yesterday, he lists it was just jolting to me, because we talk about a lot of stuff on this show, but he started rattling off all the things. Because I'm like, if he can do it to Trump, he can do it to me. And he's like, oh, he's already doing it.
Yeah.
He's like literally a laundry list of people that he's done. Catholics, all the people that are in jail from J6. He started just rattling off a laundry list of people that they've already done it to. And they've done it in a way that's just so, everybody's just going to work every day, doing their jobs. We all just pay our bills. We do the right thing. We follow the rules. They're already doing it to us.
Mm-hmm.
They're already doing it. And now they're doing it to Trump, and they're going to continue to do it. It's terrifying, you guys.
It really is. It really is. And that's on top of how terrifying, like, everything is, especially in a Biden economy. Yeah. And so we are very much aware that there is struggle happening across the country. And if you are one of the people that is struggling with just piles and piles of debt, and you're feeling hopeless and you don't feel like you have a way out, we have such good news for you, because one of our newer sponsors is what used to be known as Pivotal Debt Solutions. They are now called Zero Debt USA, and they are a company that can help you eliminate interest. They can find programs that can help you write off your balances so that you owe less. They can stop the threatening phone calls that you might be getting from various collection agencies. They can do this, by the way, without forcing you into a place where you have to file for bankruptcy, without you having to take out any kind of loan. They offer certified debt specialists that give you professional support, 24/7 access to all of your account information through their online client portal. They have helped tons of people get out of crushing debt that they have found themselves in thanks to Bidenomics. So if you are in a place where you're like just about ready to, hit the button on filing for bankruptcy, please don't do that. Please call or talk to the folks at zapmydebt.com. That's our specific landing page for Zero Debt USA. So they will find every possible solution to end your debt permanently. So before you do anything else, contact Zero Debt USA first by going to zapmydebt.com, zapmydebt.com. All right, let's move on to some election-related stuff. So it was mentioned in one of the clips that we showed that there was a freak-out. Politico had written a post saying that Democrats were in freak-out mode over some of the more recent poll numbers that they're seeing and about how this election is going right now. So leave it to Peter Doocy to ask KJP if, in fact, the White House is in freak-out mode. So that's the question. Keep that in mind. And then try to make sense of how her answer addresses that question. Here we go.
Are you guys here at the White House in full-blown freak-out mode?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
There's a Politico
Peter?
story. It sounds like Democrats outside, the quote is, Biden's stubbornly poor polling and the stakes of the election are creating the freak-out.
So, again, I'm going to be mindful. I'm not going to comment on 2024 election. I will say this. The president has never forgotten where he came from, who he is. He understands what the American people are going through as they're sitting around the kitchen table. You hear the president talk about his time growing up, where he watched his family having to sit around the kitchen table, making incredibly difficult decisions. Right. And the president has always said he's going to fight for communities that have been forgotten. And you see that in the policies, economic policies that he's put forward. Mm-hmm. He's going to continue to fight for the middle class. He's going to continue to fight in every way that he can. You heard me at the beginning talk about junk fees, incredibly important. And he's going to continue to fight and to make sure that corporation greed doesn't continue to take hold. That is something that he's been very clear about, while Republicans are doing the opposite. They put out a policy where they want to give a big tax break to the wealthiest among us, billionaires and corporations. That's not what the president wants to do.
I don't forget where he came from because he was raised in a Puerto Rican community, and he's also Greek and Jewish and Black.
Yeah, he was raised in all of those communities.
He was raised all of those, and then also from Scranton. He was raised in all those places. You guys don't forget.
Plus, he taught law. He taught law. So
right.
He's don't forget.
With corn pop. He taught law with corn pop. I don't forget any of those things. You guys shouldn't either.
And so so they're in freak out mode. I would believe Politico over KJP on this particular issue. His question was, are you guys in freak out mode? And she was like, he really knows where he came from and he's been clear and I'm mindful. I mean, It's all nonsense. She never answers an actual question. Yeah. My God.
I mean, you remember sometimes when it's on a teleprompter, but then when he goes off script, he doesn't remember. Then he's exactly. He's driving 18-wheelers in his youth.
Right, that's right. I forgot about the driving of the 18-wheelers.
He did do that too. That's right.
That's right. Laura Kate Baker, thank you. Laura says Dershowitz told Glenn Beck that there may be a hung jury. I mean, that would be amazing. We'll see. I holding out hope, but I just don't have a lot because of where he is. Karen Elliott, thank you. Karen says it's top of mind that we are mindful of being very clear, that we have been very clear about what is top of mind that we are mindful of.
So mindfully clear.
That does sound like a KJP quote.
Very, very clear.
The Democrats are so crazy. People on the left are so crazy that they are actually saying that Trump he wants a return to slavery. Essentially, that's how he's running his campaign. I wouldn't have believed it had I not heard it from one of them. Here he is.
Right. So first of all, what Trump is appealing to is what, Frederick Douglass talked about in July 5th of 1852. He said there's a horrible reptile in the bosom of the nation. And that reptile for him was slavery. It was a certain set of assumptions, not just simply about black people, but about the superiority of white people to own black people.
Oh my God. I just can't. He's
appealing to us because we want to own black people. That's what he thinks of us.
Okay. Because they've they've heard Biden say, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black, right? I mean,
there's been a lot of Biden racism.
That's the thing. And that's essentially Biden saying, Democrats own you. That's what they're saying. Black people have to see that. Smart Black people have to see that and go, you don't own me. I can think how I want to think. That's what Republicans, what conservatives think. Conservatives are like, nobody owns you. Think for yourself. And Democrats don't feel that way. Democrats truly feel like they own Black people. Mm-hmm. That's slavery. So, you know what I mean? Like, so again, with the projection, again with it, stop it. Get off the plantation. Vote how you want to vote.
And think about why you're voting the way that you are. Is it because your family has for generations and you just feel like you're supposed to vote Democrat? Or have you actually thought through, what have Democrats done for me? Answer that question, because it's nothing. The answer is nothing.
And the same goes for women.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about women. And the same goes for gay people. Yeah.
So Charlamagne the God is inexplicably making the news rounds on right-wing TV, essentially. So he was on Gutfeld's show talking openly about the fact that he has TDS. He openly admits to having TDS, and the reason that he continues to plan to vote against Trump and for Biden is because of his TDS and because he's convinced himself of narratives that are not actually true, which the rest of the crew on Gutfeld's show try to explain to him. I'm not sure how successfully.
But he wants to be again really, really badly.
Last word. Yeah, let the record show. I totally agree with Robert De Niro. I am one of those people that suffer from Trump derangement syndrome. I think he is a threat to democracy.
Really?
I think that he led an attempted coup in this country. You know, he said he wanted to suspend the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election. At the least, that's just not a patriotic thing to say.
I don't believe that.
He absolutely said that on Truth Social.
I will look that up.
He did.
He wanted to suspend the Constitution.
He said we should suspend the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election. He said it on Truth Social, then said he didn't say it. So I read Project 25. I'm one of those guys that's like, I don't know if he will necessarily leave. I hope he does, as you said.
I don't. Like I said,
hope
I think
he does.
even if I think this happens more with our presidents than I think, because now we can see everything, and Trump made everything so transparent because he was on TV every day and everyone was watching the camera.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet, and again, I'm not justifying the bad behavior of January 6th, but I'm willing to bet every president, when he got the note that he was not, when he was out, they were calling everybody like, can we fix this? Are we sure? Mm-hmm. And I think just given the fact that Biden's biggest claim to fame was he got to be Barack Obama's VP. And it was more of I voted for Barack twice. I voted for Trump. Looks like it's going to be 3 times now. But the point is like it was the greatness of Barack that helped him over. Now that there's no more Barack, this is all Biden's presidency, and it's been embarrassing. So what do you think?
It's been embarrassing.
Well, yeah, he's pathetic, this guy. He's a complete loser. And he's always ridden somebody else's coattails. You know, that's Biden. And let's face it, Biden isn't running the country. He's not doing it. Actually, Obama should be ashamed of himself, because Obama's the one. I feel like Obama's running the country. This is a pathetic third term for Obama.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
So Obama should be ashamed of himself because he's done a shit job running the country this term. Yeah, he's done a really poor job. And so his legacy is bad too. But I mean, this Charlamagne guy, like I don't. He's
been very critical of Biden, but has been also very clear that that's the right vote for him and for other Black people.
He's just misguided, you know. I just feel bad that he's so misguided. You know, I don't get it. It's like, what is it going to take? Is it because you're so wealthy that it's okay? Like, this economy is fine for you because you just have more money than, you know, I want to say more money than God, but if it's like you have so much money that it doesn't affect you, which that's nice for you. And like the crime doesn't affect you because you are so wealthy and you can live in a neat little gated community. That's nice for you. So none of this stuff affects you. And so a lot of the things that affect normal people don't affect Charlamagne the God. And so, I mean, that's neat for him, but the rest of us are suffering under a Biden administration. And so I guess he doesn't have to deal with that kind of stuff. So he can just be like, well, I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and vote for Biden again.
Yeah, but he's also doing it because he genuinely believes that Trump orchestrated a coup.
And I
mean, even like nothing about January 6th, as bad as it was, nothing about it rises to the definition of coup, or insurrection for that matter.
Amen.
So the whole narrative, I mean, the way that these people like De Niro and Charlamagne are hanging on to, oh my God, January 6th that's what Trump caused, an insurrection and a coup.
Right.
They're just morons. They don't even know what the words mean that are coming out of their mouths.
Right. And this notion that he will never leave, when the F did that become a thing?
I don't know.
When did that become a thing? It's like, seriously, he's gonna serve a term just like he did the last time if he gets in. And then that's it. We're done. Somebody else is it'll probably be DeSantis the next time.
God willing. God willing.
Right. Seriously. So just everybody calm down. Like it's such hyperbole. These people get so crazy and they get this one notion and they're like, oh my God, he's going to be a dictator. He's never going to leave. Who thought of that? And let's run with it, you guys. Let's run with it because this is what he's going to do. I mean, he never said that he's going to do that. So
well, and if he's ever suggested, people are hanging on to jokes that Trump has made where he's like, oh, I'm only going to be a dictator on day one. And they're like,
crying out
oh my gosh, he's said it out loud. He's going to be a dictator. And they're not even listening to the words or how he said them or taking into account that he is mocking people by saying that. He is mocking these very people who think that he won't leave, who think that he's going to be a dictator. He is mocking them when he says those things, and they're too dumb to get it.
Yeah. Meantime, Biden is telling people not to jump. Should we take that seriously?
I mean, it's just absurd.
Good Lord. Yeah, I can't.
Tina Kramer, thank you. Tina says prayers are needed for the Wausau Wild High School lacrosse team. The varsity assistant coach, Quinn Clark, 24, was killed in a car accident on Monday morning. They still played their game last night and won 16-5 in his honor. Oh my God, I know that feeling. I know exactly what that's like. We lost our coach in a car accident last year. And so, oh gosh, I just feel for those players because I know... Yeah, I know how tough that is.
And
I mean, 20. Yeah, that's exactly like
young.
Our coach. He had gotten married 3 weeks before.
God, that's
just
awful. I'm so
just
sorry.
had his whole life ahead of him. Yeah, so sorry for that, Tina. Just so sorry for that. Okay, so while the left has crazy people like De Niro, we, on the other hand, apparently have Dennis Quaid.
I think I'm going to vote for him.
Really?
Yeah, in the next election. Yes, I am.
Are you ready for the blowback?
Well, yeah.
If inevitably comes
well,
with Trump?
You know, I think in this election, everybody's got to, I think they're going to take a side or whatever, but it just seems to me, it just makes sense. I was ready not to vote for Trump until what I saw is more than politics. I see a weaponization of our justice system.
Yeah.
And a challenge to our Constitution, us as Americans, that I don't think we're going to have. And, you know, Trump is the most investigated person probably in the history of the world. And they haven't been able to really get him. People might call him an asshole, but he's my asshole.
God bless him for speaking out. I mean, he'll be canceled.
I don't think he's cancelable, though, because he's shifted so much of his work to sort of not right-leaning, but more Christian conservative-based movies and films.
So.
And
God,
I think he's untouchable at this point.
God, I hope you're right, because I love him. I love and the dog movies that he does, and like
my God,
right?
Oh my God,
he's so good. Yeah, I mean,
so good.
Right, he's my asshole too, right? You know. I know, right? And he's right. The weaponization of the justice system. It's like people have to recognize that and say
it's more important than everything. It really is.
It trumps everything. It does.
I don't know how it just is it's so vital. Like all the lies that the Democrats keep saying about how Trump is a threat to democracy. It is such projection. There is nothing more important than restoring trust in the justice system. And Biden is not going to do that.
Oh my God.
He's going to make it 10 times worse in
He's
second term.
He's a puppet. Think about your kids and your grandkids and the future of this country. They are, I mean, they are single-handedly destroying it.
Yep. Now, there are inroads being made. You've probably heard a lot about polls showing that Black support for Biden has dropped a lot. And so here's an example of what Biden's team should be fearing. And I hope there's a lot more of this where this comes from.
Lifelong Democrat. I voted Democrat. You Puerto Rican, you know, you're Spanish, you live in the hood, you're supposed to vote Democrat. But once you start waking up to, you know, the biggest mistake they did was mess with Trump, because that woke up a lot of people. And what they're doing now is waking up even more people. So you would never guess all these people here for Trump. You would never see it before. You couldn't even see that in 2020. You wouldn't see it, but now you're seeing it. The worst thing they did is do what they do. What they doing to him is it's just making it easier for us to go on the other side. What they doing to us, the American people and the working class, you making us go somewhere else. You losing votes. I would never, ever, ever, ever vote for them ever again. Not locally, no state, federal, nothing.
I've also.
Oh my God, preach it.
Right?
Again, with the Democrats, you don't own people. You don't own Hispanics. You don't own Blacks. You don't own gay people. You don't own women. Wake up. You don't own people.
I hope that she is just a tiny, tiny, tiny representation of a whole big bunch more people.
Yeah.
I hope. That is my hope.
I have a lot of Hispanics and Blacks around me, and I'm a precinct chair here, Republican. Republican.
But that was at that rally that he did in the Bronx, which was very well attended, and people didn't like that. Democrats hated the fact that it was so well attended, but that was the kind of person who was attending, are people who would have never showed up 4 years ago, ever. And now they're like, we see what's going on, and we're not going to take it.
Yeah.
So good for her.
And a lot of it's economy. I mean, she's pissed off because they're doing what they're doing to him, but a lot of people just around me, it's like, they're so sick of the economy. I mean, just in little Facebook groups that I'm a part of here, they're just so sick and tired of hurting economically.
Yep.
They're tired of it. They were much better off under Trump.
Now, one thing that we say a lot is that it's all well and good for people to be active in our comments here, or to be, active online and talking about voting for Trump and all of that stuff. But it's entirely a different thing to actually go and do the voting.
You gotta go vote.
I don't know how much clearer we can be about that it is so important, not just for you to go vote, but for you to grab 17,000 other people that you know.
Grab them and
grab them and haul them with you to the polls. It has to be overwhelming because of how much Democrats will cheat. And that point was driven home by a more recent poll that CNN talked about. And here it is.
A little bit in our CNN poll, when I dug into the crosstabs a little bit, where we see this massive jump from registered voters. Look at this, Donald Trump at 49%, Joe Biden at 42%. Go to likely voters. Look at this, a well within the margin of error contest in which Joe Biden actually scores 47% to Donald Trump's 46%. He is doing significantly better among likely voters in Michigan than among registered voters. And part of the belief for that reason, John, is because Michigan has very lenient voter registration laws, a lot of automatic voter registration in the state of Michigan.
So that explains Michigan. Overall, what might be contributing to this trend?
Yeah. So, we've spoken a ton about Joe Biden's problem with young voters, right? Look at the 2020 results. We see Joe Biden in those exit polls and in the post-election survey from the Pew Research Center, winning young voters, those under the age of 30, by 25 points. Right now in the polls, look at that. Joe Biden's up by just a single percentage point. My goodness gracious, what a decline for Joe Biden. But there is, of course, an age reversal going on here that I don't think gets spoken about nearly enough, which is in those exit polls in that Pew Research Center post-election survey, Donald Trump by 5. Now we have Joe Biden by 6 points. And, of course, older Americans are much more likely to vote. So this is an age reversal I think Joe Biden will take.
No, these are the voters who show up, generally speaking, but that's a huge swing among younger voters.
It's something historic, John.
All right, Harriet, and thank you very much.
What the hell's up with old people?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
What are you doing? Oh, my God. I mean, seriously, I expect it from young people because they're dumb. But old people, come on. What are you doing?
I had. This is the first I've seen of that sort of data, but that's troubling. That is troubling.
Listen, don't blame it on CNN. Don't you be blaming it on CNN.
Yeah, don't say fake news because it's not. I mean, this is just another data point.
No, because I'm a precinct chair, and it actually does happen. Like back in the last election, we saw it. This is what happened.
And it just for people to just say that's a lie, that's a lie.
No,
you
it's not a lie.
You're going to prove their point because people that say, "Oh, that's a lie," will become complacent, and that is the worst danger to this election than anything else is complacency. You're just figuring, "Oh, he's going to win by a landslide." You guys are high, high as a kite.
It's the same people that said, "Oh, there's going to be a red wave in the last election," and then we got creamed. We got wrecked.
Yes.
And I remember like the next day going, it's because people didn't go. People didn't vote. This is what happens. It's not a shit poll. It's not. This is what happens. Everybody has to get out there and vote, and we don't do it. It's like we sit and we talk about that, and then we don't get out I mean, they will overwhelm us. Plus, they've got dead people and illegals.
Right. So it's got to be overwhelming.
Yeah, exactly. We have to overwhelm. Mm-hmm.
Now, for people who criticize Trump for like saying bad things about vets or whatever, there's always these lies that they try to attach to Trump, you know, saying things that he didn't say or misquoting him or mischaracterizing quotes of his. I thought this was a clip of Biden that I had never seen before. There's two, actually. There's one from 2016 and one from 2021, where he is just openly saying things to vets and to, like, I think West Point folks, to folks in the military who serve, and just treating them so disrespectfully. And I just had to share it because this was new to me. Here is
and I want you to know, notwithstanding that you may hear about me, I have incredibly good judgment. One, I married Jill. And two, I appointed Johnson to the academy. I just want you to know that. Let's clap for that, you stupid bastard.
Unbelievable.
Man, you are a dull bunch. Must be slow here, man. No.
You are you're a really dull class.
God. Maybe you're the dull one.
Is the sun getting to you?
He's such an elitist, right? I mean, and sometimes it just takes a minute to see people's true colors.
Mm-hmm.
And that's who he is, you guys.
Yep.
He's an elitist and a racist. And I don't know what it is about the elitists on the left that are just unwilling to see it. But that's who he is.
And there's so much evidence. Oh my God. It's just piles and piles of it.
Video, audio evidence. And they're like, no, I'm not going to see it. It's right there.
And then they'll harp on Trump for falling asleep in the courtroom, which I think is a huge slap in the face to the courtroom. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's doing it because it's a sham scam trial. He should be napping the entire freaking day. Yep. But what Trump would never do is fall asleep during a freaking Memorial Day not celebration, but like a Memorial Day presentation or ceremony.
Yeah.
But look at this. Look at this. God.
His eyes have been closed for about 30 seconds.
What an ass. It's unreal.
I mean, that's asleep.
Yeah, he's completely sleeping. And who's covering this? You know?
Right?
Yeah. This would be everywhere if that were Trump, which Trump would never do it.
Right.
But it would be splashed everywhere. Mika and Joe would talk about it constantly nonstop for like 3 days.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. All right. Moving on. Rand Paul still on the case, still on the hunt to just take Fauci down. And we are, of course, here for that. Mm-hmm. Quick reminder about this whole gain of function research, which Fauci, has denied forever, that we did not fund the Wuhan labs gain of function research. So we've got a little bit of a flashback to show you first. Part of Rand Paul's questioning, I think during, I can't remember the year, but it'll say on the screen, initially questioning Fauci about that. And Fauci acting just so, pearl clutchy, like, how dare you suggest such a thing.
He was mad about it. He's mad.
Oh yeah, he was totally mad about it.
Yeah.
And then there was another person that was like that actually refutes what Fauci said. And then there's an updated clip about an op-ed that Rand Paul just recently wrote. I'll let those run together.
Dr. Fauci, do you still support funding of the NIH funding of the lab in Wuhan?
Senator Paul, with all due respect, you are entirely and completely incorrect that the NIH has not ever and does not now fund gain of function research in the Wuhan Institute
Do they
of
fund
Virology.
Dr. Barrick?
Dr. Tabak, did NIH fund gain of function research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology through EcoHealth?
It depends on your definition of gain of function research. If you're speaking about the generic term, yes, we did.
You've got an op-ed on FoxNews.com in which you write in part, Senator, how vast was the great COVID cover-up? Well, my investigation has recently discovered government officials from 15 federal agencies knew in 2018 that the Wuhan Institute of Virology was trying to create a coronavirus like COVID-19. You claim in your op-ed that they all knew and nobody said anything.
Yeah, we found out about this first from a brave Marine who reported that this research was grant proposal back in 2018 would have allowed Wuhan Institute to create a virus very similar to what COVID-19 turned out to be. But we only found out about this from a whistleblower. Nobody else in government ever informed us, including Anthony Fauci. When Anthony Fauci was asked about this particular grant proposal, he said not only did he not fund it, he said, we don't know anything about it. We have never heard of it. What we have discovered now, and we're releasing for the first time today, 15 agencies knew about this. Wow. And the original proposal, NIH and Anthony Fauci's NIAID were on the proposal. They weren't just aware of the proposal, they were involved in the proposal, and that was to create a virus that looks a lot like COVID-19 and may well have been COVID-19. But nobody revealed this, and Anthony Fauci continues to say, hey, I knew nothing about this. This was his own agency. We now have proof that the NIH and the NIAID, Fauci's agency, knew about this proposal and were part of the proposal, despite him continuing in public to say he knew nothing of this proposal. This basically is the smoking gun that ties Anthony Fauci and NIH to the funding of research that may well have led to COVID-19.
And you believe
he lied to Congress
multiple times.
Yeah. So put him in jail.
I know, right? Like, this is great. Like, I love hearing it. But when is the karma going to come?
Put this troll, this evil, maniacal troll in jail once and for all. I'm so ready. I'm so ready to see this piece of crap go to jail. And I'm sick of paying for his pension. I'm sick of paying for this guy. He's the highest paid federal employee.
Oh my God.
The highest paid, you guys. He gets paid more than the president of the United States. I hope that makes you sleep well at night.
Like neither of them at this point should be paid.
Right.
So awful.
I mean, he is paid just a ridiculous, exorbitant amount of money. Plus, he has think of all the money he's made from pharma.
From speeches and book deals and all the stuff, the documentary, all of it.
Millions and millions and millions he's paid off the backs of just hurting people.
Mm-hmm.
Evil troll. I cannot wait to see this guy rot in prison.
Well, now some of the email exchanges that have gone through, like through NIH and through him and all of this stuff through FOIA requests, now they're uncovering that you know how like if you do a FOIA request and you need to get emails that relate to, say, COVID-19, right? You want to see every email that has that word in it. So that's how they search the emails. Well, now they figured out that when they were trying to hide information, they would use characters in place of letters so that search terms, those keywords would not show up in the email discovery. So instead of COVID, they would use C0 VID. And they used it with people's names. They would put $ instead of S's. It was all so sketch, the level of the cover up. I'm so glad that all of this is starting to come to light because it's just maddening.
And God bless Rand Paul. God bless him.
He won't stop.
God bless him for not stopping. You know, talk about integrity. That guy, and I'm so glad he won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Keep going, Rand Paul, until this little troll is in jail.
For real. I mean,
Thank
and
God
then
like one guy has integrity. You know what
yeah.
I mean? God.
Well, and think about, I mean, if you think back to hospitals like firing doctors and nurses who refuse to get the vaccine, and the military firing active when they are so hurting to recruit people and to keep people in the military, they fired like upwards of almost 5,000 people who were well-trained,
Good
well-qualified, good service people just for not wanting to get the shot. And so there was a hearing about this with the Secretary of the Navy, Del Toro, who is an asshole. Oh my God, such a smug a-hole. So the in the committee, the congressperson is asking him, you know, how do you feel? Like, do you have any regret about losing those people for your stupid ass rule because they simply didn't want to take the shot? Do you have any regret about that? This exchange will make you seethe.
You want all the members of your team to feel like they're included?
Well, I have a question. Do you believe that you were an ally for the 1,878 soldiers who were fired, or the 3,746 Marines who were fired for not taking the COVID shot? Were you an ally for them?
Sir, I followed the laws. They disobeyed
Or did
the
they
law.
feel included?
They disobeyed a law.
They were fired.
They were fired because they disobeyed
Do you
the
regret
law.
that? Do you regret that?
Currently existed. I have no regrets.
You have
whatsoever.
recruitment challenges. You
know what,
refuse
Senator?
You refuse to admit the DEI is a part of this. You're firing qualified people who are well trained, and you sit here so smugly to act like none of that has any impact on the readiness of our Navy.
Senator, we recontacted 3,500 of the 4,800 people who were fired. You know how many actually decided to come back to the Navy?
How many?
Two.
Shocker.
Two.
Shocker at the level
Shocker
of
is right.
disrespect they receive from their government.
I mean, what the heck? He's bragging
He's like,
that there were two, so we made the right decision. Why do you think they didn't come back? Loser.
What a dumbass.
Oh my God.
I mean, seriously, just the dumbassery of that guy. Only two came back.
See, they suck. They suck so hard. Only two came back. Oh my God.
I can't, you can't see why? You idiot. And he has no shame.
No shame.
None whatsoever. Oh, you got to keep your job, you scumbag. Hope you're enjoying
And it was
your
all
pension.
about DEI and how that has infected the military. So it's all, you know, that's why he was like asking those questions. Were you an ally? Did those folks that you fired feel included in your DEI ridiculous programs?
Yeah.
And so just the smugness, man, of that guy.
He's like,
is-
I have no regrets. I have no regrets. Yeah, I bet you do. Because you kept your job the whole time. God, what,
oh my God.
What a coward that guy is. And he's
Right?
he's in the military. What a coward. Like, these are the cowardly people that kept their jobs in the military when the brave ones got kicked out. The bravest among them were kicked out and they left. And then we're left with these cowards.
Did you see that video that was going around the other day of the guy that was like on a naval airship or whatever, like an air carrier putting on the lip gloss and like doing his little prancy dance?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's
you
what
have to
we're left
imagine, you have to imagine China and Russia seeing that and just being like, I think we're fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're laughed at this point.
Of course. That's what's left in our military now. God help us. Yeah.
God,
Doing a
right.
TikTok dance with his lipstick, prancing around in his booty shorts.
And speaking of the military and what our money is spending money on right now, our money is paying for right now. You guys remember the pier, the Gaza pier that we were building, $320 million, I think. Let's just have an update about how that thing is going. So this is 12 days, right? So it's $320 million. May 17th, that's when aid started to flow into Gaza on this giant pier that we built with our money. 4 days later, none of the aid from that pier had actually been delivered because Hamas takes it all. They don't actually distribute it where it's supposed to go. And then by May 25th, the pier got damaged, but was still functional. And today, totally suspended the entire operations because an entire piece of it broke off and started floating away.
Oh my God.
That's how the pier is going, you guys. That's just 12 days.
Oh my God.
I just can't.
320 million set on fire.
I mean, what are we doing? And we always knew the aid would never reach the Palestinian people
Right.
because Hamas is in charge, which is why
Mhm.
Israel needs to eradicate them, which is why everyone should be in favor of Hamas getting eradicated.
Right.
And why people are like, ceasefire. Tell it to Hamas, you morons. That's the
Yeah.
reason that the war is still ongoing.
But
Oh
there
my
again,
God.
it's just more of our money. Like nobody gives a shit about my money. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's just like we talked about the EV stuff yesterday. Nobody cares. It's like they just keep taking money from me. And when I give money, and it's like, listen, every year on my tax return, I have to give the IRS like a very itemized accounting of all of my money. And if I don't do that, I go to jail. So why is it that we don't get an accounting of all the crap that they're spending when we're just giving them money and money and more money? Where's my accounting? I would like to see an accounting of all the things that they're spending my money on. Why don't I get that? Why don't we demand that from people in the government?
Well, and when we do get like a report about where the money is going, half the time they're like, "Oh, we can't account for $46 billion."
Right.
We don't know where that went. Sorry.
I feel like that's a lot. I feel like this is, you know what I mean? Like if I don't pay $3 on my taxes, I'll go to jail.
Yeah.
So why? Because they work for us, you guys. Like we are so upside down in this country. Everything is borked, as you would say. It's not
totally borked.
It's not right. We need to start demanding that they give us accounting of all of these things. Like that is a lot of money that they just set on fire. And then they're like, oh, whoops, sorry.
It's suspended. What are you going to do?
Sorry.
We should like figure out how this is Israel's fault though.
Yeah.
Because they will. They'll figure out a way for sure. I missed a tip on locals from Grammy Karen who said that Mayor Winningham is with Anthony Edwards. I think that's right. I think they are married, actually.
God, that's right. They got married.
Yeah.
That's a cute couple.
It is pretty cute. I mean, that's pretty cute.
She married Goose, you guys.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
David McKinney, thank you so much. David says, how sad that if the shit hits the fan, us old folks will have to come out of retirement to defend our country.
Right.
I mean, I want to say that that's unlikely, but I don't know if that's unlikely.
My money's on the old people. You know, we're like the get off our lawn, don't give a crap.
Shaking the rake.
You know,
We're
there's
shaking it.
Little osteoporosis there, but I think we could take them. My money's on us.
I mean, my knees aren't great, but I'm willing to put up a fight.
Right. We're scrappy.
You guys, if you have not had a chance and you have some downtime where you can listen to Jerry Seinfeld's interview on Bari Weiss's podcast, Honestly, it's really, really good. Really good. And so I'm just going to share one clip of it, although I enjoyed the whole thing very much and would encourage you to listen to the whole thing. She asked him about a recent trip that he took to Israel. And I just thought it was so sweet how much he said without saying almost anything. It was his reaction to the question that literally said everything that needed to be said. It was extraordinary. And here
you were in Israel
Yes.
since the war started. How was that trip?
The most powerful experience of my life.
Really?
I'm sure. Yeah.
Why?
You know, you just.
Is he crying? Oh my God.
Are you thinking of someone in particular?
Sorry.
God bless him. Oh my God.
I know.
Oh my God. And that is, wow. I didn't see that clip. I didn't see that one. I saw another one where he talked about masculinity.
Yeah. And toxic masculinity.
It's a great clip. And he's like talking about, you know, like back in the day when we were growing up, there was, you know, they were dudes. And you and I have done stuff on this, on masculine. God, we've done a lot over the past 14 years, 15 years on dudes and how we miss men, you know, like men were important when we were growing up and seeing like these male figures, you know, growing up and how important that was to see that. And he basically spoke to that. And he's like, I miss men, like real men, dudes. And like, yeah, bring back masculinity, Crystal, like that. And people call it toxic. It's not freaking toxic. It's just men will be, and there's not a lot of that these days. And
if there is, it's punished, right? It's criticized. And I don't think that's a healthy thing at all.
It's not healthy at all. And so he talked about it. And I was like, well, good for him talking about that. Yeah, it was a really cool thing to see. So I need to watch the whole thing. I've seen a couple clips and they were great clips. So I need to watch the thing in its entirety.
And watch if you can instead of listening, because obviously you'll miss a lot from that clip. Even if you don't see his face as he's reacting, you really do miss the emotion behind it. It was just extraordinary. So the whole thing is definitely worth watching. And he's promoting a new movie of his that's on Netflix called Unfrosted. It's about Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts, yeah.
Yeah. So, and she spoke highly of it. So that's probably something to catch. The other thing that was going around related to the Israel Gaza stuff yesterday that I saw on socials, actually, it's been a couple days now that I've seen this floating around, is an old clip of Bibi from, I think, 1979. And it's extraordinary because it's as if he could be talking about today. That is how ridiculously long Hamas and Hezbollah and all of these Israel-hating entities have been trying to eradicate Israel from the face of the earth. It is purely a one-sided war. No matter what the media narrative is right now, no matter how much everybody in the world is trying to blame Israel for everything, this is all related to Israel hatred, and it always has been. And so seeing a clip that is from 1979, where it's still the same story, and it goes back to that like Golda Meir quote where she's just like, if Hamas laid down their weapons today, the war would be over forever.
Yeah.
And if Israel laid down their weapons today, they would be removed from the planet. That's the nature of this war. And so here is Bibi again, 1929, looking hot.
Yeah, he was yummy.
Hot.
He still is. He still is hot.
So hot. And so just anyway, it's amazing. Check this out. Oh, I forgot about this headline really quick. This is real. This is a headline. It's from November 2021, but it's still every bit as amazing today.
Oh my God.
Canadian school cancels event with an ISIS survivor because her talking about her torture and rape would be offensive to Muslims and foster Islamophobia.
Okay, maybe don't torture and rape people.
Right? It's way worse to hear about it and to think, oh my God, those are people that I associate my religion to.
Oh my God.
It's so crazy. I just had to share it. Okay, back to hot Bibi. Because it's the voice, man, and the looks.
Right? Oh my God.
So
Let me
hot.
quote you what the PLO Information Office said in a Dutch paper in 1977, in May 5th.
77?
May 5th, 1977, yes. The statement was very simple. Our objective remains the destruction of the Zionist state of Israel. So let's keep in mind that what we're talking about here is not the attempt to build a state, but to destroy one.
Do the Palestinians have a right to a separate state?
Now, no one is denying that there are Palestinian Arabs. There's a very distinguished Palestinian Arab sitting right next to me. But the Palestinians themselves, in the Palestinian National Covenant, the very first article, say that the people of Palestine, quote, are part of the Arab nation. Well, let's look at the Arab nation. It has 21 states, an area roughly the size of the United States, and 1/6 of the entire world's wealth. Now, add to that the fact that there already exists a Palestinian state, and that is Jordan, 60% of whose population is Palestinian. I think it's quite interesting that Yasser Arafat and King Hussein, who are bitter enemies, agree on one thing, that Jordan is a Palestinian state. So what we're talking about is a demand for a 22nd Arab state and a second Palestinian state.
What should be done with the Palestinians on the West Bank? There's a problem, so what should be done about it, in your opinion?
Well, I think that the Palestinians in the West Bank are going to be offered the full human rights, the full civil rights, as no Arabs are offered in the Middle East. No Arabs whatsoever have any full human rights or the right to vote for their own government. Those Arabs who lived in Israel in the pre-67 boundaries are the only Arabs in the Middle East who offer that right, and I'm all in favor of having the same Arabs living in the West Bank and the Gaza Strip being offered such a right in the final peace agreement.
Can we have peace in the Middle East?
Very briefly, please.
Yes, I sincerely hope so. Look, I'm 28 years old. I've had to defend my country in 2 wars and in many battles. Nobody wants peace more than Israel. But the stumbling block to the road for peace is this demand for a PLO state, which will mean more war, which will mean more violence in the Middle East. And I sincerely believe, if this demand is abandoned, we can have real and genuine peace.
Thank you.
Yeah.
28.
I know. I'm a happily married woman, but I found it really hard to concentrate during that clip. I don't know if I was the only one, but I
don't think you were the only one.
having a tough time paying attention to the words coming out of his mouth. I'm just going to make that perfectly clear.
Was he talking? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Could you take your shirt off, BB? Can you just, because I can't hear the words coming out of your mouth. I need you to unbutton your shirt and take it off.
Anyway, pretty amazing. And it's interesting too what he said about Jordan being a Palestinian state. Again, it just makes me so mad whenever I hear that queen just flapping her gums about I mean, I can't with her. Queen Rania, I cannot.
Shut up, queen. Yeah.
Cannot take it. All right. And speaking of hot dudes, this is a gift for you, my best friend.
Yes. Thank you. I know. She loves me. This is why she's including this today. She loves me.
I love her, and I know how much she loves Chris Hemsworth because, I mean, we know why. So I want you to watch this clip. I don't know if he's like accepting a Star of Fame thing or whatever. He's accepting some sort of award, Chris Hemsworth. And as everybody knows, or maybe you don't, but he's married to this absolutely gorgeous woman, Elsa Pataki. And they've been married a while. They've got a bunch of gorgeous kids. Their entire family is gorgeous.
They're ridiculous. They're all ridiculous. They're like they're not normal, you guys. Just not.
So it came out in his acceptance speech of this award when he's thanking Elsa that she put her career aspirations aside to support him in his. And he makes that very, very clear in this clip that you're about to hear. So the question is, will there be backlash as there was with Harrison Butker? This is the question. Yeah. Take a listen.
So thank you to my beautiful wife who has been here for my entire career, basically by my side. Endlessly encouraging and supportive, and it doesn't get lost upon me that she put aside her own dreams in order to support mine. And I'm, again, forever in your debt. And the fact that nothing that I do, any of these moments, the special occasions, all these events, none of it's as special without you by my side.
Oh, my goodness. Can we just take a moment? I'm going to need a moment. I mean, seriously.
Everybody calm down.
Was it really a sacrifice to give up your career to get on that and have 4 kids with it? Really? Was it that much of a sacrifice, Elsa? Because I'm going to say no. I'm going to go.
I mean, I think she came out okay.
I feel like she's okay. I feel like, was it a sacrifice? Was it really hard for you, Elsa? Okay.
I mean, the accent. I just can't.
Yeah. All right.
But do you think he's going to get backlash for that? That's the question.
I mean, probably not, because he's Chris Hemsworth and all the things I just said. Where's the sacrifice? Really? I don't know. Is Chelsea Handler going to go after him? Probably not.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably not, because he'll get a pass because it's Chris Hemsworth. I mean, I don't.
So good in that
because he's Hollywood, and Hollywood gets passes for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's always a double standard. He's just, because she made the choice and blah blah blah, and he said it in a way where it was her choice, right? She made the choice,
and that's what Harrison did too.
Totally, I agree, because she didn't have to do that. Harrison's wife could have done whatever she wanted to do, but she made the choice, and that was the whole point of his speech: is that women, we have choices, but she was very happy to do. That's what she wanted to do.
Right.
And the women in the audience, he made the point. He was like, listen, you're probably happier about being a mother and, a wife, even though your career is going to be awesome. Or if you choose to have a career, it's going to be awesome. You're happier about being wives and mothers.
And he didn't even say it that definitively. He said, I would venture to guess that the majority of you are more excited about motherhood, about wifehood.
Why is that a bad thing?
Word.
Why is that a bad thing?
Not.
Yeah.
Everybody just made it out to be
And-
something that it wasn't, which is what they always do.
Especially if you're married to Chris Hemsworth. Because look at him. I'm just. Have you
listened to him?
Have you
heard him?
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Okay.
Okay. I know, right?
Right.
My God.
I believe that last week, being that it was a crazy, crazy week, I think we may have forgotten Dad Joke Wednesday. And so I have
Crap, we did?
I think we did. But I have, and today is Wednesday, so it is again Dad Joke Wednesday. And so I saw this on the Dad Joke Twitter account, which of course I follow.
Here we go.
And this is a hilarious picture, and you just need to look at it and accept it for the dad jokiness that it is. Look at this.
That is awesome. I love that. That's fantastic. I get it. You guys get it?
You guys get it?
That is
See?
fantastic.
Pedestrians are crossing ahead.
That is fantastic.
Anyway, there is your dad
Good.
joke for Dad Joke
Good
Wednesday.
dad joke.
And now it's time for us to schlong. And today we're going to schlong about college majors. So we're probably going to take several breaks during this video because I need to know what these words mean. I don't even understand some of the words. So these are a bunch of New York University graduates being asked, what was your concentration? What was your major? And they're all answering that question, which should be relatively straightforward, but it isn't because of the times that we are living in. So we'll stop and pause when there's one that we need to like really unpack and untangle.
It's gonna be a lot because most of these I don't know. And like quick, what is the tuition for NYU? Like,
oh, that's a good question.
NYU tuition. I'm gonna look that up real quick because I need to know like what these kids are paying for tuition. And what I see out here is does it say? It doesn't. It's not like. Let me see if I can find it because it's got to be probably what like 80 grand a year. I would imagine it's 60,000 a year. That's above average. I mean, it's above what the national average is for tuition.
Well, I was going to say I think it's
60,000
more than that, but
that's not including room and board.
Oh, okay. I was going to say it's probably closer to 80.
Okay, so it's 60,000 just for tuition, what I see, and then you tack on room and board. You're spending probably 100 grand a year to go to school there. That's a lot. That's a $400,000 education you're looking at once you get out of there. If you go for 4 years, some of these kids that are majoring in what they're majoring in, I'm sure they're going 5.
Or they're probably getting PhDs in some of these concentrations that you're about to hear.
Exactly.
So let's begin.
Okay.
My name is Jacob, and my concentration is environmental science and sustainable business.
Okay, I mean that makes sense to me.
Does it? Okay,
at least I understand the words.
What's he going to do when he gets out?
He's going to work for the EPA, or he's going to work for one of the green,
so like a green company. Like he's going to be the guy that's going to work for the government to put in those charging stations, and he's going to get the billions of dollars to do one every 15 years.
Yes.
Okay, good for him.
So he's well on his way.
He's going to make tons of money from taxpayers. Good for you, dude. Okay. All right.
All right, let's keep going.
Hi, my name is Lex, and my concentration is the performance of self.
Okay.
What in the F is performance? Does anybody know what performance of self is? She majored in performance of self. What is that? I don't know.
What job do you get? What is the job?
Jane said activist. She's an activist. Performance of self. She's
performance of self.
I'm out, you guys. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Being herself. She majored in being herself.
Okay. I don't know what you can. That's a lot of money to major in yourself.
4 years she spent studying being herself. Okay.
All right. Let's listen to what Gabrielle is majoring in.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle. My concentration is creative direction, production, and narrative through the arts, performance, and written word. Hi.
Okay, that's a mouthful.
Narrative
that was
through
a
the
lot.
Arts, production, and written word. I mean, I guess that could be like an offshoot of English because.
Isn't it just comms? Like, isn't that just a comms major?
But then they just call it comms because people who are hiring want to see comms. They don't want to see all that other bullshit. Let's just get real. They're all going to be unemployed. You guys, they're all going to be working at Starbucks. Am I wrong?
I worry that this is actually the wave of the future, of future jobs that are government created, taxpayer funded jobs that are all about this shit, right? Like it's people with gender studies majors are actually they're getting jobs in gender whatever.
Okay, but when you say government jobs, eventually the takers are going to outweigh the makers. Like we're not going to have enough money to supply all these people with government jobs. We're already broke. So they're going to be working at Starbucks.
All right, let's hear from Karina.
Hi, my name is Karina Gomez, and my concentration is in journalism and Latin American studies with an emphasis in human rights, collective memory, and political violence.
Collective memory?
I don't know what collective memory is, but she's a journalist. So we know she's going to be working at MSNBC.
Yeah,
getting coffee for Mika and Joe. She's going to be getting coffee for him.
All right, let's keep going.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Lee, and I studied the sociology of environmental communication. Hi.
The sociology of environmental communication.
So she's studying the human interaction of environmental communication, which
She screams at trees. I think she's one of the chicks that screams at trees.
She goes to the forest and screams at them.
Yes,
she does.
That's the job. That's
All
what
right.
she does.
But she studies the people who are screaming at the trees. That's what she's studying, like the interaction between the broads that are screaming at the trees. That's what she's doing.
That makes sense to me.
There's a market for that, you guys. Yeah. Is there like the thing I'd be asking is there dental supplied with that?
Right.
Okay. All right.
All right. This seems promising.
My name is Reed, and I study music business and gender studies.
Oh, music
business. Well, music business is a thing. I mean, you know, if she wants to like work for like Taylor Swift on tour.
Okay.
And then,
all right.
And then talk to her about gender stuff.
Okay.
To make her even more liberal.
So that's a double major.
All right. So that's marketable.
Let's keep going.
Hi, my name is Dominique, and I studied care politics with a minor in disability studies.
Care politics.
So, like, okay, so disability, I feel like it should be the other way around. Like, it should be that she's majoring in disability studies with a minor in care politics, because care politics sounds really stupid. But disability studies sounds a little bit more important, like working with people that have disabilities, right?
I mean, I guess, but
that
like
actually
care
sounds like
politics.
Care politics. Care politics sounds like an oxymoron. It's like jumbo shrimp, right? Because politics is not something that, you know, like people don't care about each other in politics.
Right.
It's cutthroat. So it just doesn't sound like care and politics doesn't go together. It's like oil and water.
What in the world? All right, let's keep going.
My name is Elliot Wright, and my concentration is art as a social mechanism.
Dude. Oh my God, I can't.
Art as a social mechanism.
That NYU, what the F are you doing? What are you doing? What is
Go
happening?
home. You are drunk.
You're
New
so
York
drunk.
University.
What the hell is going? Does anybody major in engineering or like medicine or anything normal anymore? Seriously.
Well, listen, we've still got a ways to go.
Okay.
Maybe we'll see something normal.
WTF is going on?
Hi, I'm Georgia, and my concentration is dramatic writing and theatrical adaptation.
Okay, she's a screenwriter. She wants to be like a screenplay adapter person.
Why didn't they just call it screenwriting? Why does it have to be named all this other stuff? Just name it screenwriting if that's what you want to do.
Well, it sounds fancy. It sounds very fancy.
But that's okay. But listen, when I was a writing major, they taught us to write in a very concise way. And so if you're getting a degree in something, that degree, in essence, should be concise. These are not concise majors. I'm irritated by all these kids. I want to punch everybody.
Well, and just think, you too may be shortly paying for their student loans.
Of course. People are asking, this is NYU, you guys. This is NYU.
Yes, NYU. All right, let's hear from Noah.
My name is Noah Loyacano, and my concentration is equilibrium or negotiated paradox.
What? It gets worse. What is that? My concentration is Star Wars. It's Star Wars. It's Jar Jar Binks.
Negotiated paradox.
It's Jar Jar
Kamala
Binks.
write this? Did Kamala write this script? Is this skit? What's happening?
He's unburdened. He's unburdened, you guys. What is even happening? They're making this up. We're being punked right now. They're making this up now. It's not even.
Has to be. Like, this is out of control.
Negotiated paradox? What is happening?
Can you imagine being like a recruiter at, I don't know, like Accenture, and
You
seeing
were one.
this is your major is negotiated paradox?
You would have been like, this is going in the trash. I can't. Mock was a recruiter. There's no way.
Yeah, there's no way. Well,
Oh my
at this
God.
point, if I were a recruiter today and I saw pronouns in a bio, it'd immediately go in the trash. I don't even care if they're qualified.
I was a comms director. I ran a department. If I would have gotten a resume that said equilibrium or negotiated paradox, I would have been like, you guys, I'm being punked, right? This is a joke.
This is a joke.
Like,
I know.
Is there a bet? Is there a pool going? Like, what's happening? It's ridiculous.
All right. Well, maybe there's hope. We've still got a little way.
Hi, my name is Sophie Lopez, and my concentration is titled Queering and Decolonizing Theater Practice.
Queering as a verb, even.
It's queering.
Queering and decolonizing theater practice.
Okay, so her job is going to be, if you're going to try out for a play, she's going to make you gay if you were straight.
Look at all she's got a lot going on with her get up here.
That's a job. There's a job of making straight people gay. Is that what it is?
That's queering. It's queering.
Oh, God, help us. Like, please, Jesus, help us. I can't.
Hi, my name is Maya, and my concentration is journalism, post-colonial studies, and psychoanalysis.
Okay.
All right, journalism. It's the other stuff I'm just going to forget. I'm just going to try to forget it. I need a little bit of hope. Let's just move on.
All right.
Hi, I'm Eloise. I'm graduating with a concentration in philosophy of science and theater.
My name is Amina, and my concentration is titled The Criminal Mind, which is surrounded on criminology and applied psychology.
All right. Okay.
Those are words
like
I understand.
Like criminology. Okay, I understand that. Okay.
Okay.
Right. What
Better.
Hi, my name is Juliana. My concentration is international business and fashion through sustainable development.
Okay. Okay. All right. Business.
Ended on a high note.
All right. So we got one business major out of all the other freaks. Okay.
Wow.
Guys,
we're doomed.
We're so doomed.
These are the future leaders of the world. So,
right. And all of them paid like $400,000 for their educations, and they're going to be like, "I would like that forgiven. Thank you."
Mm-hmm. And you guys are going to need to pay for that. So,
you guys get back to work. You got to pay for all this crap.
All right, it is time.
It's private. Okay, so it's time for DD.
Mercifully, it is time for your DD.
Okay, so these kids, when they can't get jobs, they're going to be working at Chick-fil-A. Okay, they're going to be going and trying to find jobs. This is a really great video of what Chick-fil-A training is like.
Is this for real? This isn't for real, is it?
No, it's great. It's a great little spoof on Chick-fil-A training, but it could be. This is what. This is what I imagine it's like, you guys.
This needs to be real.
It's the greatest. This guy is so funny. This is what, like, if you forget your drink, they have to run to your car. So there's a lot of vigorous training on what Chick-fil-A training is like. See, look, you forgot your fries, ma'am. You forgot your fries. That's what it's like.
That is fantastic. Oh my gosh, we just got like a ridiculously generous super sticker.
That is so nice.
Kim Donaldson, thank you so much. She says, I cannot listen while putting on my makeup because she's laughing so hard.
Thank you.
We should put a warning. Thank you so much. That is exceedingly generous. Wow.
Very,
Thank you. All right, let's do some My Pillow Toks. Please help support My Pillow by going to mypillow.com/chicks and check out all the super mega awesome sales that are happening right now. Support us by supporting My Pillow. They are our first sponsor ever. They have stuck with us through thick and thin, and we like to think that the relationship is mutual that way. We stick with them through thick and thin, no matter how many retailers blow them off. We want our audience to always be loyal to My Pillow because their products are amazing. So why would you not be? It's mypillow.com/chicks. And Aaron Powers, thank you. Aaron says, since I'm gay, from now on, when anyone asks me to do something, I'm just going to say that I can't because I'm busy queering.
That is so great. I love it. I can't. Queering.
Sorry, too busy queering right now.
Right.
All right. We're going to start off with a dog who's very, very excited about beach waves.
That's got to be a lab.
Oh, shoot. What happened? There we go.
That's got to be a lab. It has to be a lab.
I don't know what's happening.
What is
Why does it keep
happening?
switching?
Why
I
is
don't
it doing
know.
that?
Here we go.
It's
the jumping. And go.
That is so great.
There's another one coming behind it, quick.
He loves catching the waves.
Put your skates on.
Do you think your dogs will do that?
I don't know.
Maisie, maybe.
Whee! Maisie probably will. Ella has been to the beach once. We took her to South Carolina once and we took her to the beach, and she's not like a water lover. So she like wades about whatever this part of a dog is.
Yeah.
She
And
gets
she
about
get-
that high, and then she just likes to kind of run around, but she
And
doesn't.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maisie may. She
Maisie
may.
probably will. I've never
Yeah.
taken her swimming, and I think that she'll immediately take to it. That's my guess about Maisie, because she's just that way. I just feel
Yeah.
like she would take to water really quick.
Yeah.
Speaking of water, I did not know that if you pet a seal, they will pet you back.
What?
Wait, this is not it. Why are things happening? Where I don't know what's happening. My seal is gone. Okay, well, I can't show you the seal, but they do pet you back. What I guess this is swans. One of the swans had to be treated, and they were separated. You know how they mate for life? They were
Yes.
separated, and then they were reunited after a couple days.
So he's just been released, and look.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that the sweetest?
They're so happy to see each other.
And they're like synced up the way that they're talking.
That's so sweet.
Isn't it? Okay, here's
Here's
the
the
seal.
seal.
Yes. They pet you back. Can you even?
He's so sweet.
And this is just a rat playing in the rain.
That's gotta be New York City. It's gotta be.
Isn't that cute though? Like he's like, wee.
He is pretty cute. They're so smart. Rats are smart. I hate to even like say that, but they are.
And that pony wants a scratch. More, please.
I would like some more. I like the butt scratch. My cows love the butt scratches too.
Oh my god.
They love the booty scratches.
You got to get them one of those scratcher posts. You know what I mean? Like those things that they can rub against.
We've looked into that. But I think they just like it when I come out there and I scratch them. I am their
Well,
scratching
yeah.
host.
But what
I
if
am
you're
that.
not around and they want a scratch?
Where do I ever go?
That's true.
Honestly, when was the last time I went someplace cool? Honestly.
All right. So these dogs are being reminded of how good they have it.
Did you know that if you were born like a couple hundred years earlier, you would have to live outside and fight for every meal you
Like it
ever
would've
had?
He's like, oh God, I can't be bothered.
It's crazy. Did you know that if
They're
It is
cute.
great.
They are
Super
really, really cute.
This next video is just a demonstration of what happens when you let liberal, progressive wokeness infect your brain, and what it does to you physically. Here's 2020. And here's last year.
Oh my God.
Same girl.
Gross.
Can you even believe it? She destroyed herself.
Oh my God.
Why?
Oh God, that is disgusting.
Why? I mean, she was gorgeous, and just now, oh my God.
Oh my God, that is just disgusting. That's the first
Right?
comment. Who hurt you? That would be Democrats.
So
That'd
gross.
be liberals, feminists hurt her.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, and then lastly, we've got some more invisible danger pranks, which are just my favorite thing ever. And this is a new batch that I hadn't seen before, so hopefully it's new to most everybody here. Here we go.
Okay. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
What is it?
What? Oh, shit, what the fuck is that?
I swear. And then she locks him in. She's locking him in. That's just so mean. It's so mean to lock him in there.
Oh my God.
You have to, if you don't do this to Ron, I'm gonna be so mad at you.
He would not take it well. He would not take
He would
it
be
well.
saying all the F-bombs everywhere.
Yeah, he
There
would
be
drop all of them.
flying. Yeah.
God, I just absolutely love those. Anyway, those are your talks for today.
Those are really good talks. I know I owe you guys some Astrid, but I don't know.
Yeah, we need some flaps,
Let me see if I can
man.
get her because all the dogs are here because my kid is at a training camp. She's gone. Hold on. Let me see if I
Okay.
can get.
All right. And I'm going to make sure that I've gotten every super sticker. Have I? BTK, thank you. As an NYU pre-med double major, I'm embarrassed. Oh my gosh. I hear you. And Karen Elliott, thank you. Karen says, do you want fries with that concentration? That's perfect. Perfect, Karen. Man, I hope we get some Astro. Oh, yeah, there she is. I see her butt. I see it.
That was really hard just getting her. It was really hard.
Really?
Hold on a second.
But you did it, man. She's
I
here.
did
She's
it.
ready.
The other dog- Okay, can you flap? Can you do it? Mwah. Can you do it? Can you do it? Can you flap? Can you flap? Oh. She's rusty. Can you flap? Mwah. Can you? Honey, come on. She's not flapping. Let me see if I can get it.
You can do it. You can do it. One more.
Come
Get
on.
her right on the nose, right on the snout.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Flap, flap, flap. Come on. She won't do it. Oh, I just flew on her. She won't do it. She's not doing it, you guys. She's too excited.
She's very excited. It's been a long time.
But it's been a long time since you
Come
flapped.
on, Astrid. Come on. You can do it.
You gotta flap. You gotta flap for people.
So excited.
She's too excited, you guys. But she says hello.
Yeah,
So.
it was like a half flap.
It was a half flap.
It was a flap.
So excited to see her. And then meanwhile, my other dogs are like pawing at the door trying to get in.
Like, how come
So
she
mad.
gets to come in?
Yeah, I know. The boys are so upset. So all right, you guys. She says hello. Everybody
Did you bring
have
it
a-
in? You didn't bring it in.
I didn't bring it in. Okay, we're bringing it in, Astrid. We're bringing it in. We're bringing it in. Big hugs. Big hugs. Bring it in. Okay. All right. Everybody have a. Just clap.
Yeah, there's the flap.
Everybody have a wonderful Wednesday, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.